I'm trying to get the One Piece Odyssey Platinum, but not only am I getting the 50 trophies in the base game, which require finishing all side activities, collectibles, and post-game bosses who are really powerful, I'm also going for the extra 6 DLC trophies, including unlocking both endings. I always thought One Piece Odyssey was an underrated game dismissed by a community that just doesn't like turn-based RPGs, but will I still think the game is good after this Platinum? There's only one way to find out. The Straw Hats discover a brand new island, Wofford. It's surrounded by a mysterious storm that sends our ship flying and crashing down. The Sunny is ruined and we're separated from Nami, Zoro, and Brook, but after a quick search we find them by the first boss fight in this game, where we had to use the best move you're gonna see this entire playthrough.
It's a big ouchie.
Reunited with the whole crew, well, kind of, Brook's body is missing, we head further into the island where a fire colossal drops on us. We defeat him easily, but as soon as we do, a mystery woman touches our chests and removes our skills with her cube powers. And without our abilities, the fire colossal gets back up and now it's way too strong for us. We end up being saved by a new character called Adio, who is really cool, but also he's a Dio. Thank you. We follow the mystery woman where Adio explains her name is Lim and she has a bad history with pirates. She doesn't trust them because they killed her parrot. Yeah, that's the parrot's grave. Top 10 saddest stories of all time. But to retrieve our strength, we must dive into our memories. That's what the cubes are, the memories of our strength. And to find these cubes, we must defeat the elemental Colossus, starting with the Thunder Colossal. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. After defeating it, we retrieve our memory cubes, but they are too big to be absorbed. And so, to restore these bigger memories, we have to actually dive into the world of memories. And after all of that, we finally unlock
Chapter 1 clear. Bro, it's been 3 hours. This is gonna be a new record. Longest time without a single trophy. But we're off to the races. Alabasta, we're here.
Alabasta is the first of 4 arcs we're going to revisit throughout this game, but every single one of these islands has been rebuilt based on the crew's memories, which means nothing is where it's supposed to be thanks to Zoro's incredible sense of direction. This is where the game opens up a bit. We find our first Yaya cube, which is a simple collectible, but we're going to need to find 99 of these for a trophy. We also get our first side mission with the Kung Fu Dudongs and our first bounties. That's right, we can hunt pirates with bounties in this game. But because we can't redeem the rewards, you know, because we're pirates and all that, we need a middleman who in this game is gonna take a very aggressive cut.
Wow, a full 1%. We got a full 1% of the bounty. Fair and balanced.
Side missions and bounties are 2 out of the 3 types of side activities, and we'll need to complete all of them if we want to get the platinum. We also need to dive into cooking and crafting, as Top Cook requires us to make all of Sanji's recipes, and Trick Ball Wiz requires us to make all trick balls with Usopp. But we don't even have most of the recipes at the moment, so we'll just do what we can for now. But I was getting desperate. Alabasta is gigantic, and it's been way too long since my first trophy. So I did something I'm deeply ashamed of. I ran away from battle. And not just once, not just twice, but 3 times in total.
It was for a trophy all along. Ran from 3 battles.
Y'all thought I would run for no reason? Give me some credit, bro. I wasn't lying though, Alabasta really is the biggest area this game has to offer, complete with a cave system that works like the Lost Woods in Zelda. You need to follow this bird or you will simply get lost. Guess we're getting lost. Just kidding, we beat the Sandora dragon and the bird is okay. And so is a giant crab. Dragon has been feasting, and so have we, feasting on combat as we get a trophy for winning 50 battles, which is a mere 1/6 of what we need for the trophy battle master. But we keep working on it as we clear some more bounties and a really cool dragon before we find this strange portal that takes some of the crew into a quick side story. These are frayed memories, the 3rd type of side activity this game has to offer, and whenever you clear one of these, you unlock something called a bond art, which is a really powerful attack you can use in battle at any time. So by clearing these, we're not only working towards the final side activity type we're missing, but also towards Bond Battler, which requires us to use 20 bonds during battles. And after walking for hours across the desert, we find an oasis where we can take a break and do a trivia side mission that would expose me as a fake One Piece fan. Not the first time on the channel, and probably not the last.
Question 1, who is Alabasta's ruler? Vivi's dad, which is King Cobra. What animal will ask to become your apprentice when beaten in battle? We've met them in 2 side missions at this point. The Kung Fu Dudong. What's the name of the poisonous spider that looks like a fruit? What? Pineapple would look more like a spider than the others. No! It's a red fruit, not a yellow? Wait, it's a strawberry? What is the name of the large casino in Rain Base? It's Rain Dinners. What's the name of the giant gators that inhabit Sandy Island? It's banana gators. What animal plays dead to steal the belongings of travelers? Well... Trickster? Fuck. What is Alabasta Vice Commander Pell's alias? Pell the Falcon, Pell the Condor, Hawkeye's Pell. Falcon. Let's go. What is the rare giant catfish found only in the Sandora River? The Sandora catfish. Just the Sandora catfish. What is Port City Nanohana's local specialty? Dance powder perfume. I'm gonna say it's perfume. Yeah! Yeah!
After that wonderful display, we make our way to the capital city of Alabasta by riding the crab that we rescued earlier. We finally meet up with Vivi, who is clearly upset. After all, her people and her military are killing each other thanks to Crocodile's master manipulation. But because we're playing inside a world of memory, we know that Croc is in the mausoleum, so we don't even have to look for him. This place has a few puzzles for us to solve, so we get past some locked doors, and while doing all that, I got...
Whoa! Gomu Gomu Rockets! We did it 100 times. Yep, and I think we still have to do it 100 more because we're nowhere near done with this game.
Almost every crewmate has a trophy dedicated to their exploration ability. So not only are we gonna do more Gum Gum Rockets with Luffy, we also gotta keep exploring as the other Straw Hats for their unique trophies as well. Hopefully we'll get all of these before we beat the story. But with that, we finally make it to Crocodile. The fight isn't too hard. He summons these sand tornadoes from time to time, but as long as you keep them under control, it's easy to not get overwhelmed. At least during phase 1. You see, after defeating Crocodile once, he just gets up again, but now he's been powered up by the cube or something.
Oh! Uh-oh. Not the 3-in-1, bro. Not the 3-in-1. That's okay. As long as this hits. Let's go! Nice! With Luffy, which means we get an experience bonus. Experience bonuses are no joke. Look at that. 17k as an experience bonus. It was just 13k for the battle itself. You want to hit those.
And with Crocodile out of the way, the Alabasta arc is complete, which means the Straw Hats can finally remember their abilities and return to the island of Wofford, unlocking...
Chapter 2 clear! Alabasta is done! Well, kinda. We still need to clear some things up.
Each one of these areas has a main story portion, and after you beat it, it gets a ton of side content. And since we need to clear all of those side activities, that means we're not really done with Alabasta until all of it is completed. But before going back, I had to try the new ability Robin unlocked, which is called Fuse. It lets me fuse accessory stats, making stronger equipment for my whole crew. So I got to work, enhancing everything I had.
Gamba, gamba, gamba. Oh, success! Let's go! Craft enthusiast fused 5 accessories. We're only getting started.
And still in Wofford, a few side missions popped up, which unlocked another trophy.
Pit Stop Amateur for clearing 10 side stories. That was a very quick one.
To unlock more of our abilities, we must next defeat the Wind Colossus, but the path to him is blocked by a quicksand river. Sounds like a job for our crab buddy from Alabasta. We're gonna use this opportunity to fully clean up this place off of side activities, and as you can see, there are a lot of new ones here. But before I even got started,
Usopp slingshot 100 times. I think we're done with Usopp.
Yep, that is Usopp's exploration trophy. 2 down, and we're still in Alabasta. A lot of these side missions are boring as hell, not gonna lie. One of them just has us running all around the map to buy perfume and lotion for Nami and Robin. Wouldn't be One Piece without some Gunner bait. But I confess that I do have fun reading some of these bounty posters. Like Recon, who wants to prove that land karate is better than fishman karate. But I'm pretty sure land karate is just karate. I spent the next 2 hours doing nothing but side activities, and as I took down the final bounty in Alabasta, I got my trophy for completing 10 bounties, which is only a fraction of the number I need for Bounty Hunter. We bring the crab back to Wofford because the cube powers let me pull things from the memory world, an ability that's never referenced again in this whole story, by the way. But that lets us cross the quicksand river and make our way to the Wind Colossus. This dust dungeon has that Zelda dungeon vibe to it. You gotta figure out a big puzzle before you fight the big boss. And the big puzzle involves flipping entire rooms upside upside down. A cool concept if running back and forth wasn't so tedious. As for the Wind Colossus, as you'd expect, he's got a lot of wind attacks, and that wind really cuts as his attacks kept applying bleed to my entire team. So Chopper was definitely working overtime to keep everyone healthy until we brought the Colossus down, which once again gave us some big cubes, which you know the deal by now. To absorb the big cubes, we must dive into the world of memories, and the island we're visiting this time is...
Chapter 3 done. Let's go, Water 7.
This is my favorite place in this game. It's just fun to explore and has really good fast travel placements, so you barely feel the backtracking. And the quest line here actually moves forward instead of dragging like crazy because it's giving you a bunch of tutorials. Right, Alabasta? It kicks off with Aokiji freezing Robin and Luffy, so the Straw Hats retreat to the Mary, except the Mary is gone. Iceberg helps us unfreeze the crew, which is ironic, and we later find that Frankie has stolen the ship. This triggers a boss fight against Frankie, but turns out he was actually on our side the whole time. He's been moved by Usopp's Tales of the Mary and is actually our friend. No time for breaks though, as Rob Lucci is here, and he takes both Frankie and Usopp to Enia's lobby, which is an entire second area you can still explore in this arc. It's got a bunch of prison cells for Zoro to slice. That's gonna come in handy later. We defeat both Kaku and Lucci in a boss fight, escape the Buster Call thanks to a clutch save by the Mary, and say goodbye to the Straw Hats' first ship once again. This gets me every time, dude. 0 trophies during the Water 7 main story, but this is when it opens up with side quests and bounties. And while going for one of those bounties, I accidentally triggered the main objective, which put me in a cutscene that just ended the whole chapter and took me back to Wofford.
That's so dumb. Why is that bounty there? I have to come back just for the one bounty.
Well, the good news is Frankie is done fixing the Sunny back in the real world, so he rejoins the party just in time to return to Water 7 and do all of the bounties. While completing them, I focused on exploring with Nami, since she has the ability to see money where no other characters can, and after you pick up 25 of these, you get Treasure Sensor.
That's it, that's Nami's ability, all done. Now back to the bounty.
That's the third exploration trophy. We are making good progress. After finishing the bounties, it was time to clear all the frayed memories, and after just 2 of them, I got Fix the Fray, which you get for clearing 5 of these. Once again, just a small step towards the big one, Certified Fray Fixer. And I couldn't believe it when I saw that Water 7 also had a trivia challenge.
Oh, it's the quiz lady. What is the amount of transportation essential to living in Water 7? The bull.
Easy.
What is the name of the sea train currently servicing Water 7? Smoking Tom, Puffing Tom, Swimming Tom. Smoking Tom. Fuck. I thought if I said it with confidence, it would work. What is the name of the annual high tide that overwhelms Water 7? Aqua Laguna. What is the name of the endangered tree that is the strongest in the world? Treasure Tree God, Treasure Tree Adam, Treasure Tree Apple. Adam? Okay, I totally knew that. How many foremen does Galila Company have for each dog? 10? What is the highest tier of bull you can rent from the rental shop? Yagara, Rabuka, King Bull. Probably the King Bull. Yeah, King Bull. So this is Adam and this is 5. Done. I'm going somewhere now. The last quiz is for you to find out where. What? I'll be where the main Galila Company workers get together. Oh, I know. Oh, wait, this is easy. I was right. It is Doc 1. She's just hiding behind this for some reason.
Water 7 is officially complete as we return to Wofford, where thanks to Frankie, we can now build bridges in certain spots, like this one, which is required to reach the next Colossus. But on the way there, since I was now exploring with Sanji, as he can spot rare ingredients on the floor that no one else can, as soon as I picked this one up, I got...
Yo, Cook's Nose! Sanji collected 25 items. Okay, Sanji's done too.
That only leaves us with the exploration trophies for Zoro, Robin, and Frankie. And speaking of Frankie, his trophy is actually building these bridges. So we've officially started Frankie's progress, but the next exploration trophy I got was Zoro's. You might remember that in Enia's lobby, we just sliced open a bunch of cell doors. Well, this next Colossus also has a few iron doors that need to be cut through, which is exactly what Zoro needed for his trophy.
Oh, Iron Door Slicer! 20 doors with Zoro.
All that's left is Frankie's bridges and Robin's ability, which is to find these archaeological items that only she can see. But they are much rarer and much harder to find compared to Nami and Sanji. So we should definitely keep an eye out for those and explore with Robin as often as possible. We clear the dungeon defeating the Ice Colossus, which gives us some very good lore on this island and what we're doing. Warford used to be a sky island that researched the weather. They have an ancient weapon capable of controlling the storms that now surround the entire island, while at the same time keeping this place hidden. But it's also what's keeping Limbs and Adio's tribe from returning home. They are the natives of this island, and they were caught outside when the island fell to the floor, and now they can't get through the storms that surround it. Taking down the Colossus will allow us to control the ancient weapon to stop the storms from raging so their clan can finally be reunited. So not only are we getting our abilities back, we're also helping an ancient tribe get back home. And after learning all of that, we are ready to dive into our next memory, Marineford during the Big Paramount War. I knew this was going to be a short chapter but full of battle, so I made preparations by crafting a bunch of new recipes. First with Usopp, which unlocks
Trick Ball Beginner. I made 10 trick balls. I made 10 different trick balls, which is also important. Not for this trophy, but for the future.
because eventually we will have to make all of the trick balls. And then I decided to do the same with Sanji, which unlocked
Yeah, Journeyman Cook. 10 recipes. Again, 10 different recipes.
the trophies were finally rolling in, and now that we were well fed, it was time to dive into the Big Paramount War.
Chapter 5 clear. Let's go into Marineford. What does it look like with a full crew of Straw Hats?
Not too different actually. This is by far the most cinematic chapter and has literally zero exploration. You never free roam in this icy battlefield. It is straight up a boss rush section with awesome cutscenes. And turns out that because Luffy actually had his crew this time, they are able to save Ace. Never mind, he didn't dodge.
Chapter 6 is done. It's a quick one.
With the chapter cleared, everyone's abilities leveled up, including Robin's accessory crafting, Sanji's cooking, and Usopp's trick balls. So it was time to finally wrap up these crafting trophies.
Jewelry Master. Made an accessory with 4 effects. Wait, does that mean we can make all the recipes and trick balls as well? Chili ball, no. Oh, I'm gonna be missing the chili ball, no. Oh man, he's missing a bunch. Oh, okay. We are gonna need some ingredients.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna be that easy. So for now, we are gonna keep the story moving forward. Maybe those ingredients will happen accidentally. But because I'm able to craft 4 slot accessories now, I thought it was a good idea to spend some time gearing up my whole crew, and that's when...
Oh, chasing champion? 30 accessories. Wait, I actually don't know how many of these there are.
That was actually the only one. Fully geared up, I traveled back to Marineford, which actually has a small town for you to explore now that you're done with the war. This town is devastated. It doesn't have any bounties or frayed memories, but it does have 3 side missions. Those 3 side quests are going to take us all over this area, and while exploring, I got...
Cube collector. Usopp. 4 of Usopp's cube fragments. I guess that's the first of many.
Indeed, there is a trophy for finding a number of cubes with each crew member. These cubes can be used to buff our crew's abilities, so the more we find, the better. But that also means that this late in the game, we just got a whole new checklist of trophies to keep track of. And of course, one of these side quests in Marineford was also a quiz. But this time, I was ready for Quiz Lady.
The ultimate military force of Marine HQ, Aokiji, Kizaru, and who else? Kainu. Yep. What is the name of the prison impossible to break out of? Impel Down. What's the name of the bell in Western Marineford? The Ox Bell. Damn for strike. All right, here we go. Intermediate. What is the name of the giant gate in both Annie's lobby and Impel Down? The Gates of Justice? Yeah. What is the name of the warden of Impel Down? Magellan. Or Magellan? The 3 powers of the Grand Line are the 4 Emperors, Marine HQ, and the 7 Warlords. Yeah. Dude. I'm on fire. For the advanced, I'll be waiting at the plaza where a sacred key to a battleship rests. I don't know what that is, but I think there's only one plaza in this region. Yep, there she is. Oh, she's being attacked. Oh, that's a twist.
I aced that quiz, baby. And while doing another side quest, I noticed that Luffy had some new attacks, including Red Hawk. I decided to just try it out, and suddenly...
Get the hawk!
Ooh, 10k in a single attack? Red Hawk, let's go!
And that wrapped up Marineford, which means we can finally move on with the main story in the island of Wofford. It's about time Brook joins the crew. He felt like his body was floating upwards, so we head to shore to find his frozen body. The weather is changing around the island because of the Colossi we're defeating, but uh-oh, a monster just ate him up. What are we gonna do? We are gonna literally one-shot the monster, it seems. Brook joins us. He has ice attacks, which are perfect for fighting against the Fire Colossus, who decided to attack us right at this time, only to get one shot as well. Damn, Robin, what the hell did you put in those accessories? We get the big cubes and we head back into the world of memories one last time.
Chapter 7 clear. Onwards to Dressrosa.
The Dressrosa story picks up right after the birdcage has been set in place. The whole island is already in open war, and between fighting against Burgess and reuniting with Sabo, we're collecting a lot of those ability cubes, and the trophies are just rolling in.
Cube Collector Sanji. That's 2 done. There's Nami's baby. 3 out of 9. 1/3 of the way there. Cube Collector Zoro. Yes, sir. Chopper, let's go.
You also get a few cubes from clearing boss encounters, and after fighting against Pika, we got
Cube Collector Frankie as a battle reward. Let's go.
And on the final boss fight against Doflamingo, it's almost poetic that that's when this trophy happened.
No, Sabo, no, stop, no! Oh, we missed out. We missed out on the bonus XP. Oh, this one feels like a loss. It's a trophy, though. It's a trophy.
And just like that, the Dressrosa chapter flew by.
Chapter 8, clear! Only the final chapter to go.
And this final chapter has all hell breaking loose in Wofford. The Marines know the ancient weapon is about to be activated, so they evoke a buster call. But it's too late. Adio is already in control of the divine breath and is blowing up every ship with its godlike powers. Lim lets the entire crew know that even though she agrees with Adio's plan, she wants to stop him from using this weapon because it will end up killing him in the process. She's finally honest with herself and she wants to save her friend and not to rain down on this epic storytelling, but on the way to stop him, we got Brook's cubes, leaving Robin as the last one on the list.
Robin cubes, yep. That's all the cubes done. I mean, we had plenty, but now we just have way too many.
Immediately after this, I got surprised by a trophy of acquiring 20 million berries over the course of the game. I'm rich. And we finally reach Adio, who has one of the worst heel turns I've ever seen in any story, as his motivations jump from trying to stop the storms around the island to wanting to destroy the entire world because one of his friends backstabbed him once. A bit of a jump if you ask me. Also, he shot Lim, who turned into a cube. Why? Well, we'll learn why after we defeat the final boss. For now, we gotta punch Adio. Without a master, the ancient weapon goes out of control, making the divine breath itself the final boss fight of the base game, where I unlocked something I maybe should have unlocked a long time ago.
Let's go, Bond Battler. I finally did 20 Bond arts. Yeah, I've not been using those very often.
This was the first boss fight of the entire game that was actually challenging. If the game had more interesting encounters like this, I think a lot more people would have liked it.
I just froze the entire team. Oh, a big one's on the way. Oh, and then what? Dude, no one gets to play. Oh, Chopper gets to play. All the tornadoes went down. This shit went down too. Well, I don't have tornadoes pestering me anymore. And on top of that, we get 3 full turns. Just me and you, baby. Just me and you. I don't have any TP. Sunflower Star. Even though you have type disadvantage. Cook! 5K, what's up? Cook, bro! Oh, and the finishing move, it's gotta be the main character. It's gotta be the main character for the finishing move. Sogeking! Yeah! Divine Breath down! Let's go!
And with the boss defeated, a new limb comes out of the ancient weapon. A limb with red eyes. Turns out Blue-Eyed Limb was a clone made with this limb's memories. That's why she turned into a cube when she was shot. The real limb was sealed a long time ago in the ancient weapon to try and keep it under control. But now that she's free, she can restore the clone back, recreating it from her own memories. Adio leaves, his character doesn't make any sense anymore, but he needs to find his own path or something with a broken ancient weapon in a sea full of marines. Yeah, good luck with that. The Straw Hats say their goodbyes, credits roll, and we finally get...
Yeah, the final chapter is clear! Okay, we need to clean up Dressrosa and then jump into the DLC.
That's right, we have a lot of trophies to go. And the side activities in Dressrosa are first on the list. Since this is the last zone of the base game, that means we are about to get all the bounties, and the final bounty was actually the guy we met in Alabasta who's taking a cut of all of our bounties.
Wait, that's a bunch of bounties behind him. He's no middleman, he's a pirate? Wait, give us the rest of our cuts then! Wait, he has all of our money!
He was pretty easy to take down, and to be fair, he did give us a big bounty along with a trophy.
Oh, 4 million, let's go. Woo! Bounty Hunter! All the bounties done!
I also made sure to wrap up all the memory phrase and the side quests from Dressrosa, but neither of them popped any trophies since new phrase have now spawned in Marineford and Alabasta. And there are still some side quests in Wofford linked to collectibles. But I did get Party Animal, which you get for having 30 parties, something you can do at any campfire to receive an XP boost for the entire crew for the next 10 battles. So yeah, I did have quite a few parties as I played through this story. I also stopped at a store where I noticed the vendor had some ingredients that I needed for my final Sanji recipes. So going back to the camp, we can finally cook the ones we've been missing and get...
Yes? Top Cook! Yeah! All the recipes, let's go! Now I just need some chili sap to make the final chili ball.
We keep cleaning all of these side activities by clearing all the memory phrase in Marineford and Alabasta. We finally become a certified fray fixer, and that's 2 out of the 3 side activities done. Only side quests remain. The only side quests I have remaining are for collectibles, and they are gonna take quite a while. So we're gonna leave those for now. While in Alabasta, I did notice a yellow cube that wasn't there before. Interacting with it summons Smoker, who once defeated gives us...
What? 200k XP? That's crazy. Challenge enemy beginner. Defeat 1 powerful challenge enemy. Yeah, this is basically post-game content. We're gonna be doing this a lot.
Yes, we were. Finishing the story has spawned a bunch of these yellow cubes all over the place. And every time you defeat one, it becomes stronger. The final trophy we'll go for in this video requires defeating every single one of these bosses at least twice. But that is definitely a challenge for a maxed out crew, and we're not there yet. With only a few trophies left, I thought this was a good time to dive into the DLC. Now, the DLC trophies are pretty straightforward. You just have to complete all the chapters, and apparently there are 2 endings. I wanted to jump in blind to see what I can get on my first playthrough before even looking up a guide on how you get these endings. This DLC introduces a new Dark Limb who kidnaps Blue-Eyed Limb and takes her to the world of memories. So we're going to be revisiting Alabasta and a few other places, but things are different now. Dark Limb has empowered the villains with this dark cube, and the result in Alabasta is that Croc is actually king. His plan was successful, so we have to fix this by defeating Crocodile once again. The real Limb helps us clean up the cube, and we get our first DLC trophy for clearing chapter 11. In chapter 12, we meet Whitebeard in the Tower of Law. He's there rescuing some of his crew that's being protected by a Kizaru that's been buffed by half a cube. The other half is in Rob Lucci's hands, predictably, and both of these fights went super smoothly, unlocking the trophy for chapter 12. We then wake up in Dressrosa, start a quest to find God, and in this reality, Law has defeated Doflamingo thanks to the power of the Dark Cube. On the way to him, we run into some enemies drawn from our memories, aka peak fan service, but something that just blew me away with all of these DLC fights was just how much experience they reward.
Is that 12 million? 12 million experience!
Since this chapter only has 1 boss, I guess they felt the need to pad it out by doing more filler boss fights, but with the amount of XP these award, it was only a matter of time before we unlocked
High Leveler! Got everyone past level 70. Bro, I wasn't ready for this already. Because look at this. He was level 68. Bro, I just got a bunch of them. You get so much XP in this DLC. It's crazy.
Law's fight was up next, and it was a crazy difficulty spike that cost me a ton of healing items and revivals that I've been hoarding up this whole time. And just as I was about to run out of healing, Law finally went down, unlocking another trophy.
Last chapter. What those hands protect. Where's my chapter clear? Oh.
It's finally time to face the one behind all of this. Dark Limb was created by the Divine Breath. The ancient weapon's power has nothing to do with the weather. Its real power is controlling memories. The cubes. Summoning storms is nothing but summoning the memory of a storm. Framing this ancient weapon in a whole new light that actually made a lot of sense. And also made this thing incredibly broken. So we gotta punch it real hard, but not before one final fan service boss fight.
Yo! Oh my god! They brought out all the fan service!
Really cool fights, not only against him, but also against the final boss, full of phases and strategies to go through. This DLC was a true pleasure to beat, as it finally showed the potential of this combat system. Something the base game unfortunately failed at exploring simply because it was way too easy. But now that we've cleared it, we get...
Clear the final chapter, L. I viewed ending L. Okay, let's find the other ending.
The other ending has a couple of requirements, and technically I could have gotten both of them in one playthrough, but I wanted to go in blind, so now I gotta start over. The requirements are basically to find all the ninja yoisa, which are these creatures, and there are 2 of them in each chapter. I used the guide to make sure I didn't miss any of them, but there aren't any big open areas in this DLC, so they're actually not that hard to find. And in between chapters, Blue-Eyed Limb is acting all depressed. You get a dialogue option here, and you gotta pick the one that's not depressive. Boring, I know. Replaying the DLC a second time wasn't that painful though. If you skip all the cutscenes, it only takes a few hours, but I was still in Alabasta when I got hit with this one.
Yeah, it's about time. Man, we've been skipping a lot of fights, huh?
Since every boss still gives an insane amount of XP, our crew keeps leveling up, making them easier to fight this time around, including the final boss.
Give me my trophy, baby. Give me my trophy. Yeah! Final chapter A. It's A for audio and L for limb. It's not alphabetical. That's why there's only 2 of them. I get it now.
What a genius. And now that the DLC is done, let's get our final trophies in the base game. All we're missing is a couple of collectibles, an ingredient for Usopp's trick ball, and 2 of our crewmates' exploration abilities. Starting with the collectibles, these memory tablets are actually pretty fun to hunt, as the yoisa that is asking you to find them always gives you a hint as to where the next one is. So we completed that quest pretty fast, leaving us only with one final side quest to find all the Yaya cubes for this dumb yoisa. Why? What for? To annoy me, I guess. It was time to pick up a guide and check every single one of their locations. Since the game doesn't track how many you have or where you found them so far, I basically have to go to every single one. 99 locations where most of them were empty because I've been doing some decent amount of exploration. And that just made me really happy when I finally actually found one.
Yaya Cube! Woo! We got one in Alabasta!
At the same time as we're finding these cubes, we're also looking for locked treasure chests for another trophy. We've been seeing these all game, but I didn't get a key until we beat it. And I'm trying to stick to Robin so we can knock her exploration trophy out of the way as well, because if you're exploring as her, you can find these unique artifacts that only she can see, assuming you're not as blind as I am.
Alright, no Yaya cubes here. There's something there. Holy crap, I almost missed it.
And I found one of those locked chests on the other side of this ravine, something I had found earlier, but Frankie was not on the crew at the time. He was busy fixing the Sunny in the real world. Now that he's here, we can build this bridge, which unlocked
Frankie Skywalk! We've built 10 Frankie bridges! That's a breath of fresh air in this collectible hell.
After combing through Alabasta, I moved on to Water 7, where the collectible hunt took me to the sewers. Here, I found 2 more treasure chests and unlocked...
Yay! Treasure Hunter! Oh, that's all of them! Bro, I'm still in Water 7. I thought I still had Dressrosa.
But I also knew that down here I could find an ingredient that we've needed for quite a while now.
That box right there. Chili sap! Bro, I've looked for you for so long. We go to the pub, we talk to the lady. Lady, I'd like to craft a trick ball. The last trick ball we need to craft. Look at that chili sap, bro. Yeah, make me one of those. Do it, Usopp, do it! Yay! Trick ball whiz made all the trick balls, finally!
And after getting all the Yaya cubes in Water 7, I also cleaned up Marineford, meaning Dressrosa was definitely gonna have the last Yaya cubes.
Collector! Yes! The collectibles are done. Let's give them to the stupid yoisa. You got all the cubes. Your life's work is done. Have a nice trip. Oh, you want to do something fun too? This was not it. Bye. Yeah! All of the side stories done. Let's go.
This leaves us with only 2 trophies to unlock: Robin's exploration ability and the post-game boss fights. Now, I had no idea how many of those archaeological items I was missing with Robin, but I remember that she didn't have this ability back when we fought against the first Colossus. So I decided to start there by checking the very first ruins, and guess what was waiting for us right at the door?
Holy shit. Let's go. Oh, I was only missing 1, bro. Yo, we are done.
After all that Yaya Cube hunting, I was really happy to have cleared that one as quickly as I did. Finally, my exploration during the main story was being rewarded, which meant that now we are ready to tackle the final trophy in this game, the challenge bosses. We have to face against all of them at least twice, but the good news is, while I was out collecting Yaya cubes, I already beat all of them once. It was pretty easy, but the thing about these challenge cubes is that they get stronger the more you defeat them. That said, we just came from playing the DLC twice. My entire crew is level 99. I think we'll be alright. One after another, every boss fell until we reached the final one.
The final battle of One Piece Odyssey is in this cube. Our opponent, Doflamingo. Let's lock in. King Kong gone! Oh my god, you couldn't give it to me. You couldn't give it to me. It's time! Final attack, baby! Gear 4! Blow on it, Luffy. King Kong gone! Canonical finish! The true Doflamingo goes down! And that means challenge enemy conqueror. That's all the powerful challenge enemies twice or more. Odyssey Master! The platinum is ours, baby! The mark of a true adventurer! Let's go!
55 hours, that's how long this one took us. I always felt like I had some unfinished business with this game, and now that unfinished business has been put to rest. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next Platinum Hunt. Bye.
This team's got some serious power.